Welcome, everybody, to Taste Different Gaming News. What's in the news today? Naughty bits. Lots of naughties. All right, before we jump into it, make sure you hit the like button, share, subscribe, notifications, all those good things that help you keep up with us talking about the things we love, which is video games. So let's jump into it. And by the way, if we say anything in here that is offensive to you, sorry, but it's a naughty list. Adult game developer reveals annual gamer kink survey. The results in Monster Girls are on top. Man below is squished. But Tentacles dropped out of the top 25. Sorry, Pat. I know your thing, and don't worry, Tentacles will crawl their way back. So, developer Hot Pink Games shares which kinks its players are most into in 2025 compared to other years. Sex games have been around for as long as I can remember. I played strip poker on my Apple IIe way back in the 80s. That had to be kind of gross. But Steam's hands-off curation policy, the arrival of indie-friendly marketplaces, the itch.io, and the rise of monetization platforms like Patreon have led to a proliferation of adult games. That means it's not unusual to see them sitting next to big budget mainstream games. Naughty games have been around for a while, so let's jump into their list. I will be very cautious on how I describe these things so nobody gets too offended, but you get the gist. So, as said, Monster Girls are number one. But let's start from 25, shall we? 25, public play. 24, uniforms, go dominoes. 23, a fancy French word involving breastises. 22, nightly face mask. 21, free use. I don't even want to know. Number 20, giving yourself the hi, how you doing? Number 19, size difference. I really don't want to know what that means. Number 18, monsters having fun with girls. Clothed relations. Number 16, shower relations. And just a heads up, these have all come up and down in certain sets of points. I won't go through the points, but apparently they were higher and lower over last year. So, you got to do better than that. So, number 15, face relations. Number 14, just mom and dad stuff. Relations. Number 13, swimsuits. Number 12, the outdoors. Number 11, FFM, me, you, and a dog named Boo. I really don't know how to describe that one. Number 10, cosplay. Number 9, Robin Williams. Number 8, glasses. Number 7.
Why was it just rough relations?
Well, if anybody's ever seen World's Greatest Dad, they'll get the gist of number 9.
Number 9 is not David Carradine style. It's rough relations.
We're fighting about relations.
And not like rough dog. Like rough dog,
number 7, tasting relations. Number 6, tomboys.
Or swallowing.
Well, I was trying not to be offensive. Number 5, where does all the air go? Number 4, goth girls, or just goth. Number 3, tights and leggings. Number 2, oatmeal cream pies. And of course, number 1, Monster Girls. So we'll go to Nick first because me and Pat are 99% sure he's played about half the things that are popular on this list. No offense, though. You want those relations, you go for it, buddy. So, what do you think, Nick? Do you see that as a a trend that will keep up with those kind of categories, or do you think there's some new categories around the corner that might jump into the top spots there?
I'm sure there's always new categories that will find their way onto the list. Monster Girls. I mean, I have seen a lot more games on Steam because there are adult games on Steam that do center around having some sort of monster females and things like that in them. So that are adult games. So I could see that being more on the higher trend. So, I mean, whatever. Developers make these games because clearly people buy them, right? And clearly people play them. If they didn't, then no one would make them, right? I mean, some would, but most wouldn't because they wouldn't take their time to develop stuff like this. But they clearly do sell. And so, you get your kinks however you get them, I don't begrudge anybody for whatever they're into. So Monster Girls this year, I don't know. I mean, what's going to be next year? What out of that list, what would you want to be number one? I don't know.
Powerpuff Girls with hands.
With hands? Oh,
well,
they
you missed
tried
that
to make CW tried to make that. Yeah. Maybe because they did say that swimsuits went up. It also had a big jump in the list, so swimsuits went up. Uniforms and clothed relations also got big boosts, so that's weird.
Yeah, it's
uniforms I could see, but clothed is like, okay. I don't know. We do that all the time, don't we?
Walk around the world in clothes, right?
Yeah, and just think about it.
You're just not doing the second half of that act.
No.
It's clothed relationship.
Clothed relationship. Anyway, monsters. That one, number 18, monsters having relations with girls. That's the same as it's always been. So it's always been at number 18. The people are right in the middle for that one, aren't they? They're just not quite sure.
I don't know. What's the difference between that one and the top one?
Well, because the top one is girls that are monsters.
Oh,
that one is monsters that are with girls.
I got you.
Yeah. The girls in this case are not
role
monsters.
reversal. It's role reversal.
Role reversal. Exactly.
Relations. Yeah.
I don't know what is okay, and maybe I'm just dumb, and I probably am. What's free use?
I'm assuming that's like free use, like copyright category. That's all I can think of. But I mean, yeah, I'm probably out of touch with these. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Don't Google it, Shane.
Too late. Okay, so free use means that the couple must engage in relations whenever one of the members of the couple wants to have relations, even if the other member is not feeling relations.
Gotcha. So we're out of touch, is what that means.
We are out of touch.
Out of touch with the adult game lingo here. Because I honestly, I had to look up what that FFM was. I was like, what is that? I was thinking like FMV, like full movie,
that's what I
music
thought.
Videos, and I'm like, that's FFM? Not it. Girl, guy.
Yeah.
Female, male.
Yeah. That's what.
It's
female, male.
So
three
no
people
are involved.
There's three people having a relation. I'm like, wow. My brain went like in a completely different direction. I'm like thinking like FMVs or something.
I thought it was like sewer shark.
Jesus Christ. Get your minds out of the gutter or put them in the gutter.
They got to go in the gutter.
Yeah.
This is like the first time I think I can admit that my mind's not been in the gutter. Not enough to know what the heck is these topics are. Because I'm like a good chunk of them. I'm like, what does that mean? What is that? I'm like, I'm not a prude by any means, but I don't think that I understood what a good chunk of these are. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of them I've been around the block and I don't get I don't know. I just don't get the appeal of some of these things, like tomboys. So
you like? I mean, I guess
I mean, it's
it's androgynous. It's the whole anime. Anime is big on that, right? The androgynous.
That is true.
That's
true.
That's where it's probably going.
Yeah, like that one video. Oh, I didn't know they had cute cat girls here. Silly, I'm a boy. No, you're not. So,
Tights and leggings has remained on 3 though. It has not been toppled, nor has it gone anywhere.
Superheroes, they're going to keep them up there.
Oh yeah, as long as there's gyms and video cameras, people will still like their tights and leggings.
Well, you got like the uniforms, right, with the leggings.
The costumes, yeah.
Well, the ladies that wear the leggings and pretend they work out, that's a costume.
Yeah. I don't know.
They'll survey anything these days, I guess, right?
Oh, yeah.
You got to know your customer base, I guess.
You got to know what are everybody into, because then that way you can create those, adult games or sex games centered around what interests various people.
Right. What about you, Pat? Is there anything on this list that you're surprised by or you'd like to see take its place?
I never thought about making a list like this. I guess that's part of the problem where I don't fit into this demographic. I guess I was like, where's a list? Where's a list of my kinks? And where do they rank? Where do I rank them? And does it change every year?
I don't make it long enough to make a list.
Does it change every year though, Nick?
All right.
As he gets older, his list and I like Shane's PCing of the terms, even when he didn't have to sometimes. But I'm just like, that's pretty interesting. But you can see that, you can see the survey for yourself if you just want to go out there and look for the Hot Pink Games survey results for 2025. You can Google that because we probably will not be posting a link for that because that's probably not something that YouTube would like.
No, probably not.
Because it's full of terms that they don't like. So, Steam, what was it, 2018 that Steam basically started allowing adult games on the service? I think somewhere around there, 2018, 2019. Because
when did you buy your first one, Nick?
Used to be Steam didn't allow that, right? Steam didn't allow the adult themed games. And when I'm talking about adult themed games is like games that have adult content that's just not, nudity and sexual themes, right? So Steam didn't have that.
Is Steam rate those games AO? I haven't ever.
No, I think they rate them as adult, and then they have tags as like they have tags for them.
Yeah,
because
they're
always like every time you go to the new and trending list, there's always an adult game on there now, and I'm like that used to
at least one, at the minimum.
And I can remember a time. I think we chatted about this maybe a year ago, where I'm like, when did this trend start? Because I don't ever remember seeing anything like that. And like a year ago, when we were chatting about this, I had to find out what happened. I thought, did Steam just open the doors? But they opened the doors in 2018. And I guess, the next year we got COVID. So is that, those correlated, Steam's policy on adult games brought along the lockdown, but I don't know, man. It is what it is. And like you said, it makes them money, so that's why they're good. That's why there's companies like Hot Pink Games out there now, right? Because it makes money and people buy this stuff. I'm just waiting for one of you guys to buy something on Steam and then forget that everybody on your Steam's friend list can see what you're playing and be like, look at Nick playing Barbie horse breeding, or something. Be like, so.
Sample Collector 2000.
Right. And then we just get to make fun of them for a while. And we're like, we saw what you were playing. So, or everybody on Discord sees what you're playing. You're on Discord with a few hundred people. And they're like, man, he is bold. We're playing that.
Now, Nick, we're not picking on you. We just know you play everything.
I played a adult boxing game.
Knockers?
No, you were a dude and you fought women, and as you beat them up, their clothes started to rip off and everything. It was a fun boxing game. So
that like subverts like multiple genres, like being mean to women and then beating their clothes off.
Well, I mean, you were boxing though, like in a ring, like it was actual boxing.
It was a sanctioned match, Pat.
It was a sanctioned match.
It was underground boxing.
Yeah.
So that was.
I'm sorry, my punches are so hard it rips their clothes off.
It's the boxing version of Shane's 1992 strip poker on the Apple IIe. I think we all played that strip poker game that I can remember from when I was a kid.
Nope.
I remember going over to my buddy's house.
Computer as a kid.
I didn't have a computer when I was that young, but I remember going over to my friend's house and his older brother had it, and strip poker was on there, and I'm like, and it was just still images, but every time you won a hand, a little piece of clothing went missing, and you're like, at that young age, you're like, this is pretty good, you know,
it's like waiting for Netscape to load in that.
Right,
screen.
Exactly.
No, we never had strip poker or a computer, but we did go to Grandma's house and play strip bridge.
There.
Grandmas and grandpas always had worse stuff, right? Always hiding something in a jar.
Was it the old strip Scrabble?
Oh, good job there. You get Grandma's brazier.
I remember finding my grandpa's collection of like dirty keychains or something, you know, grandparents always kept stuff in the cookie tins and you're just like, what's this? Not showing. Oh, this one's
before I take my pants off. I got to look that word up.
12-letter word, cantankerous.
There was no Google back then. I guess you had to get out the Encyclopedia Britannica. Go get the Britannica. You know, so
Encyclopedia Britannica. I got all the editions.
I got all of them, A through Z, and then 0 through 9. You know, So it's funny that stuff like this
Columbia
comes
House.
out. Columbia House. they were shipped directly to you from Columbia House.
But yeah, I mean, sex and video games, even just the innuendos, have been around forever and a day, but they've definitely hit more of a realism and a mainstream in I'd say the last 10 years. So
all I can say is
I've checked one out. It was a demo on Steam.
Just one.
And I was amazed at just how detailed it was. I mean, it was grossly detailed. And nicely detailed too, just depending on your outcome. But
it was the full game, but it seemed like a demo to him.
It was so short. He only needed a few minutes
past the opening credits.
Like, man, that game was short.
Oh yeah, it's a 3-hour long game, but it took me 6 months to finish. But
took him 6 seconds to finish. Didn't even get past the opening credits. Didn't get the credit scene.
I didn't get past the title.
The
title screen. It says press start.
The prologue menu.
I was still setting up the settings.
But yeah, I mean, it's becoming more popular. You know, VR is making it also more popular in these categories. And
I want to try it. I'm not going to lie. I want to try it.
I'm surprised you haven't.
Fuck, man, my VR just sits there. I haven't done shit with it.
Don't borrow
play Batman.
The rule of that's why you guys are always like, you should check out my VR headset. I'm like, I'm not trying out anybody's VR headset. I don't know what the hell you've been doing with that thing.
Sitting on it.
Plastic to your face.
Be like, why does this controller feel funny?
Yeah. Why do I got a rash?
Outline around my eyes.
It literally says Oculus. But
yeah, I mean, it's weird, but there are a lot of these companies out there, right? I think probably, I don't even, what would you guys, I would say probably 7-8 years ago, this wasn't very prevalent market. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But from my
I
viewpoint,
definitely notice it a lot more on Steam. Because if you go to new and trending, there's at least one at minimum.
I just opened mine. And the second game on there is
on the new and trending.
On the new and trending. Oh, damn it. I hit the wrong button there. The second game on there is Yoshima
Hentai Simulator.
Yep. That's number 3 on mine.
Yep. Number 3 on mine.
Yep.
And then Miami Paradise.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So there's 2 on this week's list of the new and trending. Mm-hmm. And then usually there's oftentimes 1 or 2 that make it to the top sellers list. And I'm like, wow.
And then Winter Life in the Countryside is also sexual content.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that one's even higher than that one. So yeah, I mean, it used to be something I never saw on Steam, and I was kind of surprised. This is around the time we were playing Doki Doki. That's right, because Doki Doki was a joke because we were making fun of all the adult games that were showing up there, and somebody stumbled on Doki Doki, and then we were joking about it. And then I don't remember who it was, said that was supposed to be a really good game. And I thought we were joking still because it showed up as kind of a dating sim, but it really wasn't a dating sim. It was just a psychological horror.
Yeah.
Because there is no There is, I mean, it is kind of dating simish, but there's no adult content in it. But
it's
as adult situations,
it's like dating that hot chick from high school that turned into a crazy psycho that just went to your house and slept with your dad out of spite.
Yeah. So I mean, it's becoming more popular and out there, and now we have companies that are posting their kink list for you and their rankings of them. So this kink list looks like a kid made it. I mean, what is this? Comic Sans font, and know, and
in their defense, they were spell checking with one hand, if you know what I mean. So
yeah, but hey, man, to each their own. Whatever,
that's right.
It is what it is, and people are going to. I mean, there's a reason why the porn industry is as big as it is, and it basically spills over into pretty much every media out there: books, games, TV, whatever. I mean, women have smut, so they have their own visual type stuff. So,
all right. Before we go, pick 3 off the list and you combine them. That's what you're into. So, since nobody wants to do it, I'll pick Nick's and Pat's. I think Nick is monster girls, goth monster girls who look like tomboys.
That'd be
3. That's 3. You got 3 for him.
And then Pat's will be self-relation, monsters, relations with girls in the shower. Mine goes to church. I don't see any of this. It's nasty.
Shane's is the odd one, the clothed relations.
And
with tomboys in glasses. That's yours.
So Ellen Page then. Oh, it's a yoke.
It's a yoke, y'all.
Anything for Monica.
Anything
for Monica. Okay.
All right. Well, you guys got anything else before we get nasty here?
Before we get banned from YouTube because Shane let something slip.
I said relations. I didn't say All right. Well, you made it to the end of this nasty little episode here. Tell us what you think. Are you into these games? Do you like them? Can you recommend one for one of us, Nick? And tell us what your thoughts are about them. Do you think they're okay? Have you found one that's actually just a damn good game? It just happens to have relations in it. Let us know in the comments below. And until next time, see ya.